guys? It's your boy GP with another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars together, have a dope conversation discussing alpha, doing demos, uh, the latest news, and kick out high frequency vibes. I hope everybody's had a very blessed Tuesday. It has been a pretty good day so far. Just lovely in the Stacks community, where we are working in a permissionless, decentralized, and trustless environment, where collaboration is fostered and everyone can grow. There's a place for everyone, a gap to be filled. Just get your start. If I could say that to you, um, everybody gets their start somewhere. Starting into spaces, unmuting your mic, saying hello, and getting to know the community. Get yourself out there, and build in the open. So I have some different bookmarks that I got for you guys today. Let me pull up my screen and we can get straight into it. Yeah, no, not that. That's not it. That's not it. Okay, give me just a second. Come over here to my bookmarks. Very cool. Very good. All right, and then I want to come back over here and make sure. Yep, that's kosher too. All right, let's get straight into it, guys. So from Bitcoin Magazine, uh, just in, Similar Scientific files to raise 500 million to buy more Bitcoin. I don't know what Similar Scientific does, but I would imagine something with science. But $500 million is not chump change. So scientific institutions getting into buying Bitcoin. Got countries, got states, everybody, even college campuses and universities starting to try to hodl Bitcoin. So very cool seeing everybody adopt Bitcoin. They say slowly and surely, and then all at once. And this is what they were talking about. Everybody starting to adopt Bitcoin. From Cointelegraph, watch a new Satoshi statue has been unveiled in El Zonte, El Salvador, nearly 6,000 miles from the Satoshi statue in Lugano, Switzerland. So another one of these awesome statues. You look from it sideways, and it's representing a coder on a laptop, but that is representing Satoshi. But if you look at it from this perspective, it disappears. It's very cool. There's another one of these in Switzerland. Cool stuff. And of course, if you're sleeping on the Stacking DAO and Zest protocol discords, I do not know what to tell you. In the Stacking DAO Discord this past week, we had a Pokemon TCG Pokemon tournament for prizes, along with an X-Post contest. In the Zest protocol Discord, the Zest meme coin sprint is ongoing, and many prizes have been awarded already. Be sure to join for your chance to win, but most importantly, find your community and have fun. I made this cool little infographic here. As you can see, Giga Pepe is right here, GP in character form, along with the Zester and Mr. Smacks. Join the Discord, get involved for your chance to win, guys. We're having some fun. Moving on. From Hermetica, we didn't just bring you APYs. Oh yeah, and you want to follow Hermetica Phi. We didn't just bring you APYs. We built a page where you can watch your yield compound while you focus on literally anything else. It's been there for a while now, but hey, thought we'd just point it out in case you're still doing math the old way. Yeah, big base builders over here in the Stacks ecosystem. Big shout out to Hermetica. Hermetica's USDH led the stablecoin market cap on Stacks to be among the top 3 or 4 tokens by stablecoin market cap growth in Q1. So big shout out to the Hermetica squad. As you can see, they put together this little demo, video to show you how you can go in there and calculate your portfolio and stuff like that on USDH. Very cool. You can earn up to 25% yield on Hermetica, so go check them out. From Bitflow, huge win for Bitflow and the Stacks ecosystem. Thanks to the massive success of Bitflow's Zeely campaigns and the unstoppable momentum of our community, now over 60,000 strong, Stacks is officially live on Zeely.io. So that is Zeely_IO on X. But yeah, check this out. Stacks Network is now live on Zealy. You can now connect your Stacks wallet and take quests fully on chain. NFTs, tokens, custom quests. If it's on Stacks, you can verify it and reward users on Zealy. Big love to the Stacks fam building with us and helping bring this to life. Bitflow, Leather, and Grana. If I missed anyone, let me know. So yeah, big shout out to Zealy now supporting the Stacks ecosystem. It only makes sense. And big shout out to the Bitflow guys. That is Bitflow_finance on X. Big shout out to the guys. From Zest Protocol, that it's at Zest Protocol. Another Zest weekly recap is here. Let's dive into the numbers and let's take a brief little look here and see what they got for us. USDH deposit yield currently above 55% APY, currently higher than the Hermetica staking yield. It might be a good moment for you to put some idle stable coins to work on Zest and earn solid yield. And I agree. I agree with that. Putting your assets to work on Zest, you can then earn some yield, and then not only that, but you could borrow against your assets as well. So put your assets to work with Zest. SBTC still up for grabs to borrow. Great opportunity for everyone or anyone looking to run DeFi arbitrage strategies with SBTC. As the borrowing cap increases over time, SBTC yield will become more sustainable. So go over there and borrow some SBTC. They launched a soft launch of I think it was 10 SBTC borrowing limit right now. But as demand increases and more people peg into SBTC whenever withdrawals and the next cap is lifted here at the end of the month, we should see that grow. So awesome. STX loans up 11.52%. That's 1.91 million to 2.13 million. Looks like the appetite for STX borrowing is picking up, probably taking advantage of high staking yield versus borrowing cost for some yield arbitrage. Very, very cool stuff. Loving seeing the metrics where we're at and different ways to earn in the Stacks ecosystem. That's a wrap for another Zesty week. See you next Taco Tuesday for the next weekly recap edition. Stay zesty. Note the recap is not financial advice, and Zest and other apps and yields are variable at any time. So yes, they do change over time, and I will give that a like and a follow. Here, just like this. If you're watching this, do this, and this. If you are a Chad. Moving on. Stack from the main Stacks handle, that is at Stacks. Last year was about infrastructure. SBTC went live, and the Nakamoto upgrade brought 100% Bitcoin finality plus fast transaction. This year, it's all about growth and more apps, more users, and a fresh roadmap vision for 2025 and beyond. You can see here it has a very cool infographic of all the Stacks protocols and good stuff going on in the Stacks. And this is growing rapidly. We have a lot of base builders in this ecosystem, so I love seeing this. And again, just covering that Zealy is now available. The Stacks network is now available on Zealy. Moving on from Cointelegraph, just in, BNB has flipped UPS in market cap. BNB market cap is 83.0 billion and UPS is 81.78 billion. There you go. New Oklahoma Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Bill fails to pass committee. In his closing statement, Senator Guthrie claimed there has not been a period of 4 years that Bitcoin has lost money. Bitcoin is not going away. That's a typo. Bitcoin is not going away is what that's supposed to say. I don't know if that was intentional. Another one from Cointelegraph, Insight. Can you really buy anything with Picoin? The Pi Network's open mainnet launch has unlocked real-world use cases, but most Picoin transactions still happen in small peer-to-peer marketplaces. And to be honest, we have the Stacks Pay SIP, which is the Stacks improvement proposal that is passed, and POS systems are not far away from Stacks. So Stacks will be, you can literally probably buy stuff with Stacks very soon. I'm sure somebody is building it. There's a lot of people building here right now. Just in ARK Invest, recent report shows that Bitcoin volatility fell to an all-time low. Wild. Earlier this week or late last week, there was a post about how the S&P has been more volatile than Bitcoin. Crazy, crazy stuff. And they also have a cool infographic here showing the returns and the ratio, all of these things that go into measuring volatility. So very cool to see that as Bitcoin grows, it gets more and more stable. Insight: Bitcoin shows resilience amid trade war. Bitcoin remained stable during the recent US tariff induced market drops, fueling debate over its role in safe haven assets in times of economic uncertainty. Very, very true. People are flocking to Bitcoin as their safe haven asset. And yeah, that I mean, it's more stable than the S&P right now. What more is there to love, right? New Michael Saylor's strategy is up 7% in 2025, while QQQ is down 10%. Is investing in Bitcoin a winning strategy? And I would believe so. A lot of people are winning, whereas the stocks they took a huge dip, and Bitcoin is stabilizing. So yes, it is a winning strategy. This is not even a question. You know, in my mind. Today, BlackRock has bought another $37 million worth of Bitcoin. BlackRock and Vanguard are the two biggest holders of Bitcoin. And yes, they will continue to buy your Bitcoin as you panic sell. Do not panic sell your Bitcoin to BlackRock, please. Insight: more whales are coming to the market. Addresses holding 1K to 10K BTC have climbed from 1,944 to 2,014 since March 5th. So whales are getting active. Big players are entering the game. Let's see what happens, guys. Do we see? I saw a post for people calling $1 million Bitcoin in 2025. Do you guys think it will happen? Do we see $1 million Bitcoin? Drop it. Uh, Drop your yes in the chart in the chat. Let's see what you think. Today, CyberKongs has announced that the SEC has officially closed its investigation into them. After years of litigation, unjust allegations, crippling legal fees, and the biggest hurdle we could possibly encounter, we are free. So, hopefully this is a win for NFTs, right? A win for our industry, and I do believe that it is a win. So awesome. I'm an NFT artist, so I like seeing stuff like this, even though they're probably on ETH or like the testnet chains. It's cool. I like to see NFTs win. Anthony Pompliano claims that the U.S. is going to buy as much Bitcoin as they possibly can, with 5 million or no, 21 million Bitcoin in 5 years as the plan. Um, yeah, they're going to buy a lot of Bitcoin. Moving on. Ethereum market share nears all-time lows as bearish chart signals potential ETH price drop to 1100. Wow. And then they put together this little chart here, looking at this, and then I don't know how they're getting these levels. Maybe it's a level where it was previously traded at, but yeah, Ethereum market share nears all-time lows. Yep, we have other better options that are cheaper, faster, stronger, like the Kanye song. Um, Latest, whale destroy withdraw. I said destroys. Withdraws 300 or 3,704 BTC worth 315 million from Kraken and Binance. This whale took his Bitcoin off of exchanges and probably put it into cold storage, like most whales do. Um, that's a good signal. Bitcoin's usually whales transfer their Bitcoin to exchanges when they're looking to sell and stuff like that. Leverage their Bitcoin for other stuff, and vice versa whenever they're planning on holding. So I like seeing this. Whales withdrawing BTC from exchanges. And stacking DAO want to earn SBTC yield while borrowing other liquidity. Depositing STSDX BTC on Zest protocol and using it as collateral is the move. Quick video guide to walk you through it, and if you want to watch it, go follow Stacking DAO at stacking DAO. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all the news. Big shout out to Prince K for winning the thread competition in the Zest Discord for, you know, the challenges and stuff. Like, oh no, yeah, this is his entry for this week. So no winner has been announced yet. But if you're interested in winning some different SIP10 assets, join that Zest Discord. Go find out what challenge number 2 for the meme coin Zest meme coin sprint is for your chance to win. And I got some base chads waiting. So let's get in here like swimwear, guys. Let me stop sharing my screen and let me bring the guys on. So tonight for his inaugural episode, I have to give him a very big and warm welcome. He is a chad from the ecosystem with a very base name, Crypt Titty in the house. What's up, Crypt Titty?
What's up? What's going on?
And we have Mr. Wagme of Block9 app also in the house, Crypto Dude of BoostX, and the legend himself, Jack and Switch. Welcome, guys. Happy Tuesday. How are we feeling?
Man, we got a packed
Good.
house.
Yeah, base Chad's in the house tonight, dude. It's one of those things whenever I feel like we got like a new guy coming on. We had like Crypto Dude actually like showed a little bit more of himself elsewhere today.
Wait. You got proper context is needed there.
What the
We all
heck?
need to put on a list.
Yeah,
What he did. He just
everybody's gonna be thinking I'm doing side hustle on OnlyFans now. That's not what happened. Yeah, on the leather lounge, y'all got to see my ugly mug for a few minutes. Congratulations. You've all been traumatized now.
Say BoostX OnlyFans?
people are probably
That's why you built Boost.
The master plan. No.
great, right? It's about
Just payment rails.
I saw it. That dude's a stud. Forget about it.
Hey, you know, an addendum to the news. Hermetica has some more alpha this week that they're going to announce alongside Zest.
Ooh.
Yeah,
What is going on there? I have not been filled in yet, and
you will be. I can't say. I wish I could, but it's going to be cool.
He's teasing the alpha.
he's
Always.
teasing for the community over there right now.
I wanted to know so bad.
Jack is so ahead of the curve that he's beating the CMs of these communities to the house.
Put it this way, man. If you were on the call earlier for the Stacks DeFi show,
Yeah.
like we're in a position right now in this ecosystem where everyone talks about DeFi primitives, but you know we're actually at the level now where we're evolving DeFi. Like that's where we're at, and it's only happening on Stacks. And so people need to pay attention because the DeFi thing, everyone likes to talk about it. You know, TradFi is going to be doing what they're going to be doing, but we've got such a head start here. So, yeah, you ought to look out for that. It's going to be cool.
And the AI is already primed as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just about to say automatic DeFi, you know, to where like you have AIs managing your portfolio and like you don't even have to check, like they're just handling it for you and prompting you and letting you know, hey, this is what's going on, this is what I did. That's what type of DeFi we have here in Stacks, where AI meets Bitcoin. You know, it's one of those things that really gets me excited. And not only that, we have SocialFi with BoostX. We have so much different types of DeFi here, like that is different from other ecosystems. Like, who's ever heard of being paid 5% to use USDH to open up a long on Bellar's Perplex?
Yeah, that's tomorrow. Like we'll be getting our 5% tomorrow. Airdrop straight to your wallet, dude. I'm gonna turn around and open another long with it. Like,
is there a promotion going on? Is that a promotion, or is that just like how?
no, that's just this is what's up.
What's happening? Nice.
Yeah.
You saw my positions, right, Jack?
Yeah,
Got like 6 of them open.
I know. That's all I'm doing. I'm like, at these prices, low leverage. Yeah.
I would love to see like some risk management tools for the perp decks, and I think that, you know, like you can't say that too early. Like I think they have done a phenomenal job with launching the Agatha Perptex on Velar. Like, phenomenal job. It's clean. It has all the like indicators that you could want, all of the tools that you could want, position calculators, all of that. But I would love to see like risk management tools. I'm sure that's coming. That's coming in an update. You know.
And the thing is, man, like, it's funny because I don't know if y'all saw. Apparently, Amazon Web Service, one of their servers, where KuCoin and a couple other exchanges, they were having trouble today because the server was offline. And there you go, decentralized exchanges. Okay, people, decentralized exchanges are the future. Like, if you can go to Velar and perp trade in a decentralized manner. Like, this is just next level shit, guys. This is like,
worry about
You do have
fucking your shit up, dude. You don't.
you do have to be cautious though. There's a lot of people out there that say they're decentralized, and like they're not always decentralized. Like,
Yeah,
their
they-
architecture is skirt around it.
I saw the term used describing some kind of Dex got hacked or something recently. And what did they call it? What was the word they used? I'll have to look it up.
Custodial deck.
A custodial Dex, yes. Like, what
Yeah.
the hell is a custodial Dex?
Dude, that is hilarious.
Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Like, so you're talking about an oxymoron? They
Right.
custody your token,
It sounds
Yeah.
a lot better.
but it's a centralized exchange. That's an oxymoron.
It is.
They named it
Don't forget to say GM to all the people in the chat. But
GM, my friends. Yes, you're right. Thank you for reminding me. Manny Mo, we got DD in the
Legend.
house. We've got D one and only. That's a new name. Welcome, D. And John D, welcome. Oh, Crypto Dude coming through. What's up, Crypto Dude? Good morning. It is evening, my friend.
you don't have to shout me out in there.
Gotcha. Oh man, I love shooting the breeze with you guys, man. Like, and just having fun and talking about the alpha. But I got my head wrapped around this custodial Dex thing. I can't get past it.
It's like
Pretty funny.
it's like a lady boy. It's an oxymoron. Like,
Lady boy exchange.
yeah. I mean, what the hell? Like,
Hey, wait a minute. Is he decentrally confused?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the centralized exchanges competing in decentralized sports. You know what I mean?
right.
Good on it. That was good.
Dude, coming through with it.
I think we got a comedian up in here with us. That was pretty witty.
That is-
Pretty witty.
Yeah, try my best.
Doug, what's up, Doug? Legend.
Doug Leaf.
Doug in the house, man. Big shout out to Doug Life, man. Always looking out. I was just notified a little late that Doug actually won some merch, and then he sent it my way, dude. Thank you, Doug, for always supporting and like being a base Chad in this ecosystem. Doug is the guy, dude. He's the man. So very thankful for that.
E-gen as they come, dude.
Yes.
Like, the real one, you know.
Top shot of DGens, literally. Like, I'm telling you, Doug is the man. So we have Wagme in the house tonight, and we were going to cover some Block 9 stuff, right? Like, you know, get into a deep dive of the site and really get into like what Wagme's doing, because I think what Wagme is doing is very important. You know,
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You know, onboarding, like getting the like demystifying the language that we use commonly in Web3, and then getting these businesses ready to adopt blockchain. Wagme, did you want to get straight into it? Are you ready to like kind of like jump into that?
Sure. Happy to. And you guys feel free to interject as I'm kind of going through too and add context to everything.
Tell you what I like immediately. I'm gonna be like, can we dive deeper into that?
All right. Can you see my screen?
Let me bring it up for you, brother. Coming over here, and let me get us all set up to where. Do you guys like the bottom view here? I don't like being on the bottom. I'm not a bottom, so I like the side. So we'll go with the side for.
Oh,
now.
what the F? I'm still on the bottom no matter what.
Oh, Here, I'll make you feel better.
There we go.
If we can, like, we could even do this to where it's like,
Full screen. Just full screen it while you're talking about it.
yeah, there you go. We'll get into that later. There we go. That works perfect. So
Awesome. Yeah, I'll go ahead and dive in, and apologies if I have to pause as I'm speaking because my voice has been going out, dealing a little bit of a cold. But yeah, so Block 9 is, what I have started in the Stacks ecosystem, and the focus of it is to, earn the right as a trusted advisor to individuals and also businesses. I was talking to the guys, before we went live, and what kind of compelled me to do this is, as you go out there and you talk, amongst your friends and other people that aren't in crypto, we take for granted for how much like we actually know, especially, when we start rambling about it, like how much is that sticking? So, high level, Block 9 is going to cover services. That could be for the individual, that could be for the businesses. It also has a merch storefront. Some of that merch is geared towards businesses like, accepted here, Bitcoin sign, or SBTC. There's also things for the various different meme communities that are out there in Stacks as well. And, just like little decor things too that are on the topic of Bitcoin or Stacks. I also have resources that are on the website, like, because when I first got into crypto, it was 2017. And I was Bitcoin first, got in there, and I've always stuck with Bitcoin. And then 2021 is when I came across Stacks, and that's also when I got synced up with Jack. And I've been this way ever since, and just stuck in these two worlds. And so that's where the focus of everything that we do is Bitcoin and Stacks. And I'll go ahead and start kind of going through the website. Just the homepage. I'm not going to bore y'all with, a lot of the content specifically and read through it. More than happy to go there. And for anybody that wants to follow along too, it's www.block9.app. The services page, kind of how I have the services broke out, is consulting. And then there's how-to services. And again, some of this stuff we take for granted. It's very simple as like how to buy Bitcoin or how to create Stacks NFTs. And then there's also wallet setup services. And just so people know too, like doing this, gonna have to navigate the scenario. If someone's local, all day, meet up with them and be that resource for them. But in many fashions too, I've already crafted probably 100+ slides of content to kind of help remotely guide people, because as you know, there's information that you don't want to expose in that process. So I've been putting together a ton of resources as much as I can, and looking at different like modalities to connect with people and make this as easy as can be. I've also put together educational courses, from like a basics perspective, and then, it starts getting into what we call advanced. People that are in this ecosystem probably ain't going to see it as advanced, but for the average person, BNS, naming conventions, NFTs, AI, DAOs, all that stuff, it starts getting more in that world. There's also, this is like the most complementary package for, the business that really wants to dive in to where, come out there on site and, come already with, like a hardware wallet, a couple other different accessories, have like the educational content ready to go, to where it's really like elbow to elbow, and getting their blockchain understanding established from the ground up, and then getting them set up in a right way to where they can self-custody. And then at the very end of services, if people ever are interested in speaking engagements, there's a spot for requesting that stuff. Or, if a business is, wanting something that's more than just like a one-off perspective, and they're like, hey, we're actually thinking about incorporating NFTs into our technology, whether it's, focused around a product or a service or something like that, or anything else, because the way I look at, the ecosystems, we have these different levers to pull on, whether it's AI or DAOs or NFTs, or it's creating namespaces on BNS. We can be that trusted advisor to journey with them for those longer engagements on incorporating that into their portfolio. that's a look at merch, or services. Before I dive into merch, guys, any questions at all?
Yeah. Whenever you get into like onboarding like companies into your seminars and stuff, like who like what type of companies do you think would be best like suited to get incorporated, like to incorporate blockchain technology? Like who's your target audience, like that you think that this type of material would resonate with the most?
You know, in short, really, it's anybody, because if we're starting at a base level, as long as their state permits it, because many out there do. If they wanted to accept Bitcoin, you could just engage us to say, hey, could you help us set up a wallet? We want to do a hardware wallet. We want self-custody our assets, and then like, hey, teach me to send like a test transaction, or help me set up BNS. Like, it could be that base level. For us, that's pretty seamless for us. But for someone that, just entering the ecosystem and they want to make sure and do it right, because, in many ways, this ecosystem in general is still the Wild West. Like, there's some apps that you don't want to engage with. There's some smart contracts or certain assets out there you don't want to transact with. So it's getting that core system set up, and it could be as base level as that, or it could be a bigger organization, 100 or a couple hundred employees or larger, that's actually looking at doing something to where it's like, hey, we have this type of service, we'd like to create an NFT collection, and therefore whenever our users interact with us in a seamless way, as long as they have this NFT in there, they gain access to certain types of services. Like, we can brainstorm around their existing portfolio and figure out where is that voice is going out. Where is that play? Specific to their organization, because I think there is something for everybody out there. It's just a matter of, what do you guys do? How do you do it? And where's the opportunity? Where, how is this going to make your product or service more efficient? And then pulling on that lever.
I love that, dude. We were talking a little bit about, how the language that we use whenever we're talking to somebody that we're trying to onboard brand new, has no idea about like crypto, Bitcoin, any of it. The language that we use is normal to us, but it is what makes the learning curve in crypto so steep, because there's all these terms and things that people don't necessarily use in day-to-day life whenever they're first getting started. So I think what you're doing with Block9 app like hits it right on the head. It's a very important job, so I love what you're doing with Block9.
And the thing is too, like, a lot of people, to Wagme's point, they don't know anything, and some of these people are just now starting to be like, oh well, this is kind of intriguing, but they don't know where to start. Mm-hmm. And even if they have someone in their family who they know messes with this stuff, there's like a bias that sometimes people have against even the own members of their family. They're like, oh well, that guy's an idiot, I'm not going to listen to him. Right? So this is like really helpful, because people are going to need trusted resources. And for me personally, like, I look at things like this time of year, I like to go to farmers markets, right? And I like to buy like beef, like a lot of it at one time, like half of a cow, right? And so usually your options when doing something like that, you're paying hundreds of dollars for a half a cow, quarter a cow, what have you. It's not cheap. Beef just isn't cheap anymore. So what are your options? Well, maybe you can Venmo, things like PayPal, but when you're already talking to people who are doing things kind of ahead of the curve like that, like, hey, we're going to, sell our product direct to market. Just being able to eliminate the fees that are associated with things like PayPal is massive in a business where there's a tight margin to begin with, right? So I think like just, from the farmers markets to flea markets to, brick and mortar businesses, everyone's going to get in at their certain level. And then when you're looking at talking about tight margins, then when you extrapolate like, oh yeah, you can use this, you can take this base asset, like, okay, so here's this USDH, for instance, and you can take payments in that. And by the way, we can put that here, and now you're going to get a yield on that. So you can, people don't know about any of these things. So there's just so much opportunity there to help grow the space and actually improve people's businesses and people's, bottom line, which is why we're going to win when it comes down to TradFi adopting Bitcoin and what we've been doing here in this space all this time.
Think about it. You're earning yield on the assets that you're earning while you're turning and burning, right? Like you gotta, realize that there's so much opportunity to amplify and grow your portfolio and your business, like indirectly through using these different yield bearing opportunities, like the different arbitrage plays and all of this. Grows your portfolio when it's the best time to be growing your portfolio. So it's one of those things. I do love what WAGMI's doing, man, and you make a really valid point, dude. Like it's one of those things that I see as a necessary thing in this ecosystem, man. And I had the privilege of sitting in one of these seminars, and I learned some stuff, and I've been in the space for 3-4 years now that that I didn't know. So it's very, very good. He breaks it all the way down for you, and I love it. These seminars are great, and I think I encourage anybody to go take these courses and figure out up from down if you don't. So yeah, man.
I appreciate that. One of the other things, just thinking about like a future possibilities that I think is one of the most slept on things, and we take it for granted, is we use it for art, NFTs, like businesses using NFTs, whether, I don't know, say it's coupons, nobody can manipulate that. You know what I mean? Once it's on chain, like if you issued this coupon and then say that it's already in there, and then, I don't know, next week, like Jack, like you're saying, you go to the market and, people are going to be coming, and then you could do an airdrop to announce other things out to all the other people that have your NFT. Then, like, we've only used it in the art fashion today in the space, but this type of technology, I think, can go far and wide.
Well, and the value too. So, like, imagine having rewards programs that are transferable, that you can be sold on a secondary market. Hey, I'm not buying a half a cow anymore because I'm a vegetarian now, but I've got this rewards program with my vendor. Man, this thing's got, a big discount on it. I turn around and sell out on a secondary. It still gets used. It'll still be honored. There's no gaming the system. It's So and what it comes down to, when you really just get down to the brass tacks here, is you're actually providing more value to not just a business but to the consumer as well. Everyone comes out better. If you're spending $1,000 at a vendor, getting your quarter cow or what have you, or your half a cow, and he's not paying a $60, $70, $80 fee or whatever to PayPal. He can now give you, hey, look, check out this sausage that we make too. Here's some free samples. Here's some samples, because his bottom line's doing better, and then the consumer benefits from that, right? And so just imagine that at scale. That's what's really at stake. Yeah,
you can use these rewards, these NFTs, as rewards for basically proof of loyalty as a customer to the business relationship, which can accrue benefits over time. That's the simplest way to describe the model. It's basically like incentivizing the participation in a new way that's more provable. That's blockchain is such a major unlock for consumer, benefits and business, because the counterparty risk mitigation, and it just brings so much to the table for everybody. It's crazy.
Yeah, and in a transparent way, right? Like people can see
100%
what's going on. Like if you say for these discounts, like, and then somebody doesn't want to honor it, like it's on chain, right? Like, so that goes into like the reputation system we have in Stacks as well, you know. So it's one of those things that like really makes sense. NFTs can be used for a lot of different things, and then you incorporating that into, you know, your education program that you're doing, Wagme, is solid. I love that.
And I don't
Yeah, that's
know.
cool.
I don't know if Wagme sent me this tweet or not, but there's some guy. I mean, I don't know who the hell he is. I can't remember his name, but apparently he was big enough for some, you know, organization to make a tweet about it. Basically said, if you're a dev, you're going to be building on Bitcoin in 2025.
Yep.
Oh, that was the PayPal co-founder, I think. Or was it PayPal? Mark DeMarco or something?
I don't know. It's some jackass. But anyway, he's like, you know, it's like, it's true though. And so, and there's a reason why. And it's because, you know, building on Bitcoin's directionally right. And that's why, you know, Wagme said he's been between Bitcoin and Stacks his entire time in the space. And by the way, when we're talking about NFTs, you ought to do something cool with Block9 where for referrals, use the NFT as a referral system, you know.
I got some things cooking.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Like, you know, we got a presentation here, so maybe there's some alpha that we may be able to drop at the end of it. I don't know. You know, artist, you're talking to one right here. So if you need something cooked, you know, we got them here. So that's really cool, man. Yeah. Like, moving on. Like, what else did you have for us tonight, man?
Yeah. So the next thing I'll kind of go through is the merch. So the idea of merch, you know, the main thing for the Block9 is going to be focused on services. But I also wanted to provide an area to where, you know, a business engages with us and, you know, they're all set up. And now, like, how do they let their consumers know? On the merch, there's a whole bunch of different stickers, vinyls, signs. Like, here's a SBTC, BTC accepted here sticker. Here's a yard sign. You know, maybe there's a garage sale going on. You just want to let people know that you accept Bitcoin. Boom. There's also Block9 branded items that are out there. And then here's some more ideas. Like, there's a car magnet accepted, or, you know, was that a banner, pins, a lot more. Every little section you can kind of scroll, and then at the bottom of it, there's a view all button too. So there, some sections have like 10, 15, 20 plus items that are affiliated to it. Also did some decor type of items. If you want like a Bitcoin clock or Stacks, or, you know, the SBTC, the Bitcoins must flow, as Maniv popularly said.
Me and Crypt Titty were talking about that Stacks clock. Can we look at that Stacks clock again? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, dude. This Stacks clock is fresh. I was talking about maybe like getting one for like the background, you know, just maybe while I'm like streaming or something, like it's back here somewhere. But that clock is fresh, dude. That Stacks clock is GQ.
And you can change the stuff on it too. Like if you want a white or wooden base.
Oh yeah, that's
different kinds of stuff
nice.
there.
Yeah, dude, that's good stuff, dude. That's real good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, with the decor items, there's some pretty cool ones in here. There's the Hodl Me pillow.
Oh, hold on to the pillow, right? The Hodl Me pillow.
Yeah. Here's some more merchandise from like there's a lot of, I did like a couple different phone cases out there.
Right.
And as you see, whenever you click on the phone case ones, there's a pretty good, like, you know, depending on whatever type of phone that you have. And I think I did a phone case for Bitcoin, Stacks, Leo, Welsh, and I also believe a Rue one too.
Right.
There's a hockey puck, golf towel,
That bag.
stacked suitcase, the bag, leggings.
Guys, if you're all at the gym and you see a chick wearing Stacks yoga leggings, she's the one.
Yes, she is. We were talking about the soccer moms and stuff at my nephew's soccer game. No, I see you in leggings at the Bitcoin conference. and then I'm gonna marry you on the spot. So be careful.
You'll be in Vegas, right? So it's
Yeah.
pretty convenient for you timing wise.
And one of the other things I wanted to do too is, I've always participated in all the different meme communities out there, and I say community because it really is a community. These people I have talked to for years,
100%.
and so I know like Block 9 is focused on like the individuals that are coming in and the businesses, but I also wanted to like create something as well for the ecosystem. So you'll see dedicated spaces on Bitcoin stacks, but then also specifically for memes too. So like here's an idea of some of the Welsh stuff that's been put together, some of the Leo. There is nothing, and it was real fun making the nothing ones because it's like, here's a poker set. I always think about like at the end of a poker match, they're like, all right, what do you got? You'd be like, I got nothing. Not to be too cheesy. And then the unscented nothing candle, and then the snow globe of nothing. And then how they always say like cup of Joe and like the Joeys. So my cup of Roo.
Hey, dude, I like the punniness. I love puns. Puns are fun.
Yeah, they are.
Let's go.
And then I have the Jack and Mr. Wagme my hodl pillows.
Oh,
So whenever you're watching the charts and it's not so good, you squeeze your my hodl pillow. And then my manifestation
Jack
of green
will-
candles.
What
Jack
does
will
that
be
one
there
smell like?
to comfort people.
you need comfort blankets in this type of market.
Right? Comfort blankets.
So there's the bags. I love stickers. I have stickers all over my laptop. So there's a lot of different stickers as well. And then on the affiliate section, these are items that like I'm not doing like the shipping and all that stuff. These are just people that I've connected with, got an affiliate link created. And some of the examples here are the mini miners. If you haven't seen these before, these are really cool. Now, these aren't like the super heavy duty, powerful miners out there, but those powerful miners also, draw a lot of power, create a lot of heat too. These minis, I have one of these at my house. And what I love about this, I want to say it draws like 18 watts. And I believe a cell phone is like 10 to 20 watts. And, I imagine you probably can't hear it right now, even though I'm talking, but that's just running in the background. It's a 1.2 terahash. So it's definitely like a lottery draw of actually winning a block, but it's a cool way to participate and help secure the network. And I also think like
3 different blocks have been won with BitX miners. So
yeah, it has been done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, within the last year too, and one won 3 point something BTC within the last couple weeks. Crazy.
Yeah, and whenever like anybody that's dove into the mining topic, you can go out there and look at like how the hash rate distribution is, and there's a whole bunch of very big pools that have 20 or 30% or so, and that's one of the things like with real decentralization, in my opinion, you don't want to have all the mining compute at one particular pool. So the more that we can decentralize and distribute that is even better. And I think, this company BitX, now the vendor that puts this together, they're called Solo Satoshi. I think the more mini miners that get out there, it'll be interesting to see where that goes as well and how that impacts and maybe even causes more distribution as well with the global hash rate, because the more the merrier, I would imagine. So
that's awesome, dude. Like I would love the chance to just like have one of these BitX miners like running.
They're hard to get.
Dude, crazy.
They pretty much stay sold out.
Yeah, the BitX is, I think it was yesterday, they did a flash sale. I paid like $180, I think, whenever I got mine, and they were on sale for like 125. So if they're sold out, it's probably because they had that big flash sale. Because one of the things that's really cool about that too, Jack, is if you get like 2 or 3 of the minis, there's a setting within the GUI to where you create a swarm. So all 3 minis will then, dedicate their hash together. So you have like your own little mini pool going. And whenever I set mine up, granted, I consider myself pretty technical savvy. I had it up and running in 10, 15 minutes, but it's not super complicated. Like there's an interface, you have to, connect it to your network, And then once it's on your network, then you can hit the IP address for that device and just kind of watch like a dashboard, like of it mining and, making sure that, everything's running smoothly. But they make it pretty seamless.
So just to iterate everybody there, that these are solo miners, so people can basically participate on the Bitcoin, competition. Basically, get in on the mix. Don't just leave it to other people to take all the money. For real, put your hat in the ring.
I really liked the analogy that you used earlier about the cubes. What are they called? Rubik's cubes.
Yep.
Can we use that analogy to kind of explain what solo miners, and stuff?
Yeah, so I'm not a mining expert, but I went to a seminar once, and there was a guy up there on stage talking about it and how he kind of broke down the mining process. Whenever you look at Bitcoin as a network, you have our wallets, you also have nodes, which are another hardware device, and then you have the miners. The nodes, they're listening for the transactions and they broadcast out the miners. Now, these miners, what they're doing is the cryptographic hash. So they're taking all the transactions and then putting cryptography around it. A way to kind of think about this, as GP is alluding to with the analogy, is imagine like there's someone in front of you and they have 6 Rubik's cubes, but they're like really complex Rubik's cubes. And there's 6 people in front of that person. He hands them all a Rubik's cube and he says, solve it. And the first person to solve it is the one that wins the block. That's like at a very, very high level, but that's what these miners are doing is they're crunching all the math, putting all the transactions together efficiently, and then, putting encryption around it, trying to solve those blocks. So that's why, like when you see the 1.2 terahash, that's how much power this mini has. There's machines out there that have hundreds of terahash now. So, the chances of winning the block are very, very slim. But it has been done. The more hash power you have, crypto, we were chatting about it. Is it like probabilistic, but also,
exactly.
Performance is a big factor.
Yeah. So the more compute you have, the higher your probability is going to be proportional to the total network compute, right? So kind of look at your analogy there is if you had like your 10 people with the Rubik's cubes, right? And they're all equal in terms of compute, then they're all having more or less same probability. But, when it comes to, if one of them has disproportionate amount of compute, then they'll have an easier Rubik's cube, so to speak, to solve compared to everybody else.
That's a great add-on to that Rubik's cube analogy. There is that their Rubik's cube may be solved a little bit faster because it's a little less complicated.
There's a difficulty.
10 people trying to solve the same cube or something, along those lines. I probably butchered it, but good.
It's just it's just basically you got to think about the network compute is basically going to try to solve the problem, right? And you're kind of basically trying to win the race, right? And if you got like some nice Air Jordans on, but the dude next to you's got flip-flops on, you're going to have an easier chance of running that race and beating that guy, right? Because you're not.
You're going to hope the other guy trips on a rock.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's just a matter of setup, right? So I think the way I look at these solo miners, not to undermine their value, because there's most definitely value there. Some chance is better than no chance, right? Mm-hmm. So, and plus the more of them there are, the more it takes away from the strength of those bigger mining pools that are essentially centralizing the mining. So it most definitely plays a part in helping to keep the network secure.
We got a comment from the audience here from Manny Mo. Big shout out. Dope app though, but leading into that, it was missing B Pepe product. So are you going to be adding different communities? B Pepe is one of those communities in the ecosystem that is kind of OG and has some base chads in it too. So do you have you plan on adding some more as people ask for these types of products, or
I'm more than happy to create more products out there and put them on. For me, a lot of past couple months is getting the site stood up and figuring out what those focuses would be, and the services the first thing that we looked at took a whole bunch of time because there's like a whole bunch of slide decks that are behind that. But you know, on the merch stuff, I am more than happy to create more of those as those requests comes in. Just a matter of balancing time more than anything.
That's right.
Yep. And then just so you guys know too, on the affiliate, there's also like an affiliate link for Ledger. Some of the things that you know, my favorite items on Amazon. Like if you just want a pure only Bitcoin wallet, Jade's a good cheap one. Steel plates, you know, your seed phrases. These are one of the best ways to kind of store that because, you know, if you write it on paper, you never want to digitize that. By the way, that from my personal opinion, you never digitize the seed phrase because if you get breached in any kind of way, that's how they can drain you. So a lot of people write it down, but what if you're, you know, heaven forbid, had a house fire or something like that? Steel plates come in handy with preserving that. And there's also like a fireproof bag. Yubico is an awesome two-factor device. A lot of people will use like your cell phone Google Authenticator for your socials on security. When you get a Yubico, you actually have to physically click it to get that two-factor code to get into your socials. So, you know, a lot of scammers and hackers out there will breach people via, you know, regular Web 2 apps, whether it's your Gmail or your Coinbase account or something like that. And Yubico works with a lot of those different apps. These are two of my favorite books, Bitcoin Standard and Software. Software is awesome, but you definitely, you know, a first-year person getting in the ecosystem is going to be a lot to digest, but it kind of shows you where this whole proof of work Bitcoin, where, you know, it could be going in the future. And it's a fantastic book by Major Jason P. Lowry that's actually with the United States Space Force. I put a example Bitcoin node configuration, like the different items, you know, if someone wants to create like their own type of node. And then whenever a writer is able to stand up an affiliate type of program, I'd like to also get them up and live on the website too, so people can, you know, be checking out their device. And for those that don't know, Ryder is, you know, one of the hardware vendors that's been in the Stacks ecosystem for a long time.
One of those things, yeah. Ryder is based too. You know, the way that they're approaching these wallets is very cool. You know, having multiple devices to sign with. It's kind of like having a multi-sig and a fashion with a hardware device. You know, very based. Of course, there's more to it than that, but like I love their devices, and I definitely would love to get a Ryder.
I just got a notification the day that mine. So whenever they first launched and they were still like in development, they did like an NFT program back in the day.
Yep.
And I remember getting one of those, and I just got my notification that my Ryder's being shipped. So whenever I get that, I do plan on making a video for everybody, like the unboxing of that, just to kind of show what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yep.
We need and
Sweet.
If you want to make a segment of it and do it on the night
Oh,
show
yeah.
or whatever, you know you're welcome to that anytime. You know, anybody is welcome to come up here and you know, talk about what they got going on, and if they think that it'd make for, you know, like something fun to do, then let's do it. You know, so you know you're always welcome, Wagner.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be happy to. One of the last couple of pages here. So this resource link, these are a lot of the links that I like to use. At the very top, though, I'm just referencing some of those webinars, which are the education courses that people can do. But these are like, here's the Bitcoin blockchain explorer. Like if you actually want to look on chain at transactions and the mempool and all that stuff, I have hyperlinks to those different ecosystem resources. There's the Stacks one. Bitnodes is a cool website. You can see every node that's live on the network. Shows like a, you know, futuristic map and all of them pinging. Let's see, there's the main Stacks website. You know, some of the top wallet apps that are in the ecosystem: LeatherX for Boom, Asigna for multi-sig, Ledger, Ryder, staking, development resources, some of the different Stacks apps that are out there, BTCFi. What else we got? Analytics out there, and then also our friends at DeOrganized.
Let's go. Got DeOrganized repping and you know,
Winbow Stacks.
Yes. Yes.
Don't forget to tell them about BoostX, brother.
Yeah, dude, got BlueStacks too, man. Maybe there's something there, to where there's a Block 9 service where you can pay for it directly through X if you have your BNS set up on as your X handle. Like there's something there, and that's something special about this space that we provide in DeOrganized Media is that we have different founders coming on all the time, kind of having these conversations and working through ideas, So, yeah, I love that. It'd be dope. It'd be dope to see BlueStacks on there too, and it just you're building for the ecosystem something very important that shines a good light for the newcomers, right? So. I think you've done this thing right. You've done it justice. I mean, the website looks clear and concise and very well put together, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great website. They featured it. They featured on a Stacks that Stacks page too. That was pretty cool.
Sick.
Yeah.
Congrats on that, man. Getting on that Stacks page is a huge deal. So they have conviction in what you're doing, Wagme, and
that's what I've got to say, dude. Like,
yeah,
I am very, very proud of the progress that Stacks has made in terms of like trust machines and the foundation and so forth, with really getting in tune with the community. They've done a very good job of that. Like, I'd be the first one complaining about it, and I was when I felt like they weren't
100%.
doing a good job. But they've been doing a fantastic job.
They were very receptive to everybody's concerns, and they're being active.
And it wasn't just lip service. Like, it's really. It's really you can see the results of it now. It's a beautiful.
Speaking on trust machines, they featured the DeOrganized crew on the Leather Lounge, right? Like the Leather crew featured us, and they're a trust machines product. So like that's huge, and like that all stemmed from like conversations that we were having just a few months ago, and now we see them getting like completely in tune with the community and the base users and the people building here. So I love that, dude. And not only that, the Biddle Battle competition, Stacks Ascent. There's so many different things that they're spinning up to help these people that are building in this ecosystem. Wagme, are you in Stacks Ascent?
I am not in it, but I just submitted the application like the other day. So
okay, so you're in there like swimwear, got the app in, and waiting for some responses and stuff. And then of course, like you've got the main communities, protocols, stickers, you name it, and you can grab it on the Block9 app. So I'm loving how this is coming together. I wanted to touch bases a little bit about the map that you were talking about, where these companies can kind of get into putting their locations on the map, right? If you accept Bitcoin.
Yeah. So one of the things, when I'm not doing the services stuff or the merch, how I'm going to occupy my time is building apps that empower businesses and individuals. So the app section is just kind of, giving some insights into that. A couple ideas that I had swirling out there. The first one, that's Network B9, that being, there's a lot of developers that are coming into the space and people that are building all different kinds of unique things. I want to create this network to where, people can say, hey, I have this app, or I'm a developer. These are my skills. I have previous experience in these certain industries. Because as I'm out there working on services and engaging with businesses, if there's applications or people out there that are, more skilled in certain areas, that's stuff I can throw over the fence that, aligns to that person's expertise. So that's the purpose of Network B9. Agent B9 is an AI that I'd like to build. I started cranking away on that. Still waiting on a couple more things, with the primary goal of being a resource that you can ask Bitcoin or Stacks related questions. And it's trained on that type of data and, to just be a resource. The map that GP was referencing, map B9, I am not an app developer by any means. I dive as technical as I can, but the past 60 days I've been training myself with AI, and I have like a beta or a proof of concept put together on Map B9. But the idea of it being a web page that you could hit and you would see like an actual map, and we would issue a NFT collection. And if you hold that NFT, you're able to plot your business on that map. And you could put information like, this is our business name, our contact information, and we'll accept SBTC or whatever medium in the Web3 world. And that way, people that on the consumer side that are wanting to find businesses that accept that type of medium, they could go there and find a business, or businesses can just plot it on there just to broadcast out that, hey, we're here and we accept this. So that's the idea of Map B9. And then Pool B9 is, I'd like to do some type of mining pool eventually. I haven't started on that yet, but that's kind of like conceptualizing it phase currently right now. And if anybody has any feedback, questions, or suggestions too, feel free to hit that contact us link and feel free to send it across the wire.
Yeah, dude. I think that getting their businesses like plotted out, as well as like their location on a map, and then of course getting like some GPS involved, to where like you can click directions to get there, from the map. It'll pull up, maybe it sends it to your phone and pulls up your Google Maps directly on your phone or wherever you're using it. Would be pretty cool. Lead you right to where you can spend your Bitcoin. And with SBTC, it makes sense because now you can spend your Bitcoin in any way that you want within seconds, on the Stacks blockchain. So this really makes sense to have a service like that now.
I was going to say also, it'd be pretty neat, looking on that map as a Bitcoiner, I'd be like, yeah, I could go get tires down the road, but these guys know a little bit about Bitcoin, and I'd rather chat with them, for an hour.
Yeah,
exactly.
Good point. Very good point. Good take, dude. Couple good takes for Cryptidity tonight. Couple good jokes. I like it, man. I like having you on the show, dude. It's
normally pretty AFK, so I'm just having all these ideas to myself, or my lady gets to hear it and she kind of hates it. So got a lot cooking up,
You got the guys. You can come talk to us about it, and we'll get straight into it with you. Yeah, dude. But yeah, WAGMI, like, great site, great concepts. I'm loving what you're doing. Is there anything else that maybe you wanted to cover tonight that we did not touch on?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Just showcasing the DeOrganized Media portable Bluetooth speaker merch item here as we close out. And I'll just say, give the page a follow on X. It's at Block9app, and the website www.block9.app. And I hope to refresh these merch items too. So I'll post on X whenever drop a new one. And greatly appreciate any referrals. So spread the word. Happy to help and be that resource to as many. And even if you are tech savvy and maybe you're on a different blockchain and you're wanting to know like about the Stacks ecosystem, feel free to send those requests through too. Happy to help there.
Awesome, dude. That's also something that I see being very beneficial for a newer developer that's interested in building in Bitcoin on Stacks. That's huge, bro. And that you're open to willingly talk with just about anybody. You're an easygoing guy. You know your stuff, right? Like it makes sense. It really does. And that DeOrganized speaker, I had a question about it. So is it just like a Bluetooth speaker, and then like I want like a mic. Like I was talking about like a DeOrganized mic from you. Like what capabilities does that Block9 speaker have? Does it have a mic on it, or like?
It said it did have a mic. It is water resistant, supports Bluetooth 5.0, 33 feet range. The only thing I didn't like about this speaker, but it was like the only speaker that I could build this kind of thing with, is it says battery life exceeds 2 hours. But I don't really have too much with speakers, so I don't know if that's normal. It does say built-in microphone and
Okay,
music controls for hands-free convenience too. So I guess if you're chilling at the hot tub, you could technically just throw it up on the side.
there you go. Like what my brain immediately went to whenever you were talking about, like, before the show, we were talking about how the DR speaker might just have mic capabilities. I imagine my vacation. Just this past, like, it was like a week or two ago, we went on vacay for the first week of April. How I would have been in the hot tub just listening to DeOrganized, and then if it has a mic, I could just like tune in and like listen and talk, and then that's really cool. That's really cool, dude. And maybe some DeOrganized walkie-talkies or something like that, because we're gonna be at the Vegas conference, right? So we're gonna need
Nice, dude.
like
Doing it all there.
talk about it, right? Yeah, exactly. You got my creative like mind working, so it's like I love it, dude. I love what you're doing. Keep chipping away.
Orange team go. Orange team go.
Orange team go. Red team go. Red team go. You ever see a $20 bill on weed? A little half baked.
I love that movie.
Half baked is the shit.
I like the dog, the Rottweiler, when he jumps out the window and he starts flying.
Somebody should reach out to Jim Brewer. I bet he'd be on board with Stacks, because that guy is going through his own journey. I don't know if you guys ever follow Jim Brewer or that comedian on. He's got like a YouTube channel, and then he's doing his own thing. He's fucking still funny as fuck. So somebody should reach out to that guy, tell him about Stacks, and be like, bro, just come over and be a fucking legend in Stacks. Like, come on.
Stacks put everybody with a following, because
Go boy.
Work here. Go boy.
Go boy.
Are we gonna start? So we were talking about music this morning.
Oh yes,
dude, music in Boost X and stuff like that. This morning, like, I want to see more musicians onboarded to blockchain technology. I could see what you're doing. WAGME could help them as well. Artists, like if you're an artist and you're exploring Stacks and you're from a different blockchain, like it literally, what you said, like it caters to everybody, companies, individuals, artists, talent, whatever.
And you can go direct to consumer.
Exactly.
Bingo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I want to see a group of musicians form a label, a decentralized label, using a multi-sig vault wallet from a Signa, and just basically get their craft out there, and then take all that revenue and then go on fucking tour, fund their tour basically.
Imagine issuing tickets via NFTs, because I always hear artists talking about like that's one of they pay so many extra people. And
it's insane.
Well, that's what Satoshi, our dev for DeOrganized, is working on right now. Satoshi is working on Rising Tide, and Satoshi is a base builder in this ecosystem. He's been building for a while in this ecosystem. He's codenamed Satoshi, just for anybody that doesn't know. So it's crazy, dude. Dude is a base builder, and he's with Rising Tide, ticketed events, like you name it, he's doing it, dude. And I think that there's a place where all of these things that everybody's building connects, and it really makes Stacks the place to be a content creator, talent, you name it. It really is coming together, and the infrastructure is coming together very fast.
Think about this cool loop for an artist, a musician. They perform on X, live on X. Their fans tune in. They boost the artist to help fund their tour. Eventually, they mint an NFT in the process. Then that NFT can act as like either a straight up ticket, or a discount on the ticket later, or a discount on merch while they're on. If you go see them at the show live when they're on tour. So there's a secondary use case that you can bake in there with these NFTs, and obviously NFTs have the secondary sale markets, but that's more. That's not like just speculative based. It's actually utility based for the musician, for the consumer, and that's where the rubbers meet in the road. That's where this is all going mainstream. Is once these tools and use cases are all fleshed out, so to speak.
In crypto, dude, one thing that we didn't mention during the call, it's going to be interesting to see where RWAs go, real world assets,
Huge.
and how that could apply. You know what I mean? Like if an artist is, say they're selling their merch, and along with the physical item, they get that RWA token that shows that, hey, they own this, and it accompanies in that transaction. I think we're seeing that a lot. Like I think BlackRock and a couple other big names out there are talking about like the tokenization of securities and stuff like that. I'm curious how like RWAs will be used with like physical items, whether it's titles or any type of document that
I think
you just carry in your web wallet. So
I think we'll see a lot more collective ownership of things, because we'll have the chain to prove the ownership of the individuals without needing as much centralized arbitration to verify things, because that's where typically all that stuff breaks down, right, and becomes untenable. And so, there's blockchain's bringing it all.
I had
amazing.
You hit it right on a thought that I was thinking about the other day. Proving the ownership. Like I have some family members that, they're blue collars, and, they carry their tools with them everywhere. And some of those tools are like super expensive, and sometimes they get stole on the job site. Like imagine how much time could be cut out to where like you're able to find that, or maybe that tool gets found at a pawn shop later. They reference the, the number that's on the piece of equipment physically, and they're able to search the blockchain for who actually owns that. Like you're cutting out a lot of searching.
Right. It's amazing how much it streamlines the accountability, the transparency, the opportunity for, essentially for you to come up as a user of the ecosystem and, find your place, find your niche.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, there's a gap for everybody to fill here. Like whether you're a thread beast, you're a meme maker, like you're looking to be an ambassador of some protocol, like you just get started. That's all you need to do is just get your start making content, get yourself out there, start coming on spaces, unmuting your mic and talking and getting to know the community. And there's a niche here for you. It's
one thing that I had a family member ask me recently, because they saw with me building Block 9, they're like, I want to do something here. And they're like, what should I do? And I'm like, I can't answer that for you. But what I will say is you have to find what you love, like what you're passionate about, and then figure out how Web3 aligns to that. Or like what your previous experiences are and in past work lives and stuff, because the chances are there is a product or a service that you can provide from like this ecosystem to that industry that will transform that industry. And I think like that's the best way for people to kind of like marinate on that thought. So, yep.
I love it. And fellas, we are rounding about that hour and a half mark. This has been a really awesome, episode, getting to like talk about Block 9 app, BoostX, all the things that we're capable of doing whenever we onboard the next, million users to Stacks and Bitcoin, right? I wanted to go around the room one last time before we close out, and any final thoughts, any closing statements, any final vibes that you want to put out there to the ethos, and Wagner, I'm gonna shoot to you first, brother.
Yeah, I just say everybody here on the call, appreciate you, entertaining me as I kind of go around the website and add into it. The time is appreciated, and then for all the viewers, thank you as well for lending your eyes and going through it. And if you have any questions, suggestions, hit us up on the contact form. And if you have anybody you come across that's looking for that person to help them in their journey, feel free to throw our name out there. We're happy to help.
Right on, dude. I agree. Wagner, you're one of the OGs of this community. I'm thankful that you wanted to come talk about what you got going on, man. Like, I love it. And if anytime that you have something new going on, or if you just want to come shoot the breeze with the guys or get some feedback on anything, we're here for you, bro. Come through anytime. Crypto dude, any final thoughts, any closing frequencies? What are we putting out to the ethos tonight, brother?
Aside from the shameless plugs of go download and install BoostX, I'll just get that out of the way real quick. Keep hammering everybody, keep building the change, be the change. That's literally what, I like to say BTC stands for build the change, be the change. So, if you want to have a prosperous, society, it's better to base it on consent rather than coercion. And that's what BTC is bringing to the table ultimately at the end of the day. So
build the change with Bitcoin, right? It makes sense. It is, permissionless, trustless, decentralized, where you want to build your company and build your IP, whatever you're building. Come to Bitcoin, come to Stacks, get involved. We have a very based community here. And Cryptiddy for the win, right? Coming on for his first inaugural episode of DeOrganized Nightly with us. Any final thoughts, any final vibes that you want to put out there, brother?
Yeah, man. I was just gonna say, appreciate you guys having me on. It was a great time. I feel like I've learned more in this last hour than I have, doom scrolling my follows on Twitter or whatever. Firstly, Block 9 is awesome. I think when we're in Las Vegas, you're probably gonna see me head to toe in merch. Maybe not the leggings, but I'll have the rest of it going. And then obviously BoostX is peak, man. I downloaded it as soon as we got it on the Chrome store, and it's excellent. It adds so much for us. So
thank you, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on here. It was dope, and everyone in the audience should check out these two guys' stuff because it's epic, and yours as well.
Thanks, dude. Thank you, Cryptiddy, and you're welcome anytime, brother. If you got time for us, we got time for you, man. So,
hell yeah,
in the base chat that you are in this ecosystem, and I love having you on here, man. Fellas, I hope you have a very, very blessed rest of your night, and I look forward to the next episode with you guys, man.
You too. Later, guys.
Peace, guys.
See y'all. Thank you.
And this has been another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars together, discuss dope content, alpha, news, you name it, do demos of sick products within the Stacks and Bitcoin ecosystem, carry the ethos, bring the highest frequency vibes, and just kick it with good people from the community, right? Like, this is what it's about. We are raw and uncut, authentic as they come. So you guys have a very blessed rest of your night, and I will catch you guys on the next episode tomorrow at 7 p.m. ET. Peace.